Philadelphia. We are coming to you live from the Xfinity studio for a special Kelly Green edition of the Chiefs. Philadelphia, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. The ups and downs of football season, the highs and the lows. That's what you gotta love about the National Football League. And honestly, that's what I gotta love about the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, because we are so emotionally invested in this team and invested in this season that 1 week after Thursday Night Football, dropping a dud against the New York Giants, we're all ready to jump off the Ben Franklin Bridge. The season's over. It's a wrap. It's done. Pack it in, boys. It was fun while it lasted, being defending Super Bowl champions. And then they go out against the Minnesota Vikings, and Jalen Hurts plays not only one of the best games of this season, but really one of the best games of his own career. Smitty goes off. A.J. gets in the end zone twice, and all of a sudden, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. And that's the beautiful thing about football season. We're going to get all into it. A recap of the Vikings game. Brandon Graham coming back to the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, Kelly Green week. Jalen Hurts' amazing performance and so much more. But first, I want to toss it to my man, Mr. Jason Ashworth. Jason, coming off of a big Sunday win against a former Eagles quarterback that left it a little bit satisfying. But how are you feeling after the dub against the Vikes?
I mean, a lot like you. Because I called it. We were on the show, and I said, until they prove otherwise, I took the Vikings, right? Because we didn't see a lot that we liked over the last few weeks, did we? So for me, it wasn't all pretty. It wasn't all gravy in Minnesota. Offensively, there's still things they need to work on. Defensively, there's still things they need to improve on. But they got the dub. And offensively, at times, Jalen Hurts, he looked really good. He had a really good game. That offense was humming. Now, granted, again, there's things they need to work on. But where they are in the season, what my expectations were, what my fears were going into Minnesota, to come out of it with a win and seeing some things on offense that we want to see.
Yes.
That we've expected to see.
Yes.
Okay, it took them to week 7 to get to show us that. Look, I'm not saying that you're pulling me back in, but I am saying I think that was a corner that they had to get around, that they had to kind of turn. Now we see where it goes from here.
And I wanted to see style points. I've been saying that for weeks. I want to see style points. And even though at the end this game was at times a little too close for comfort, you started to get worried. Are we seeing another Denver Broncos situation here? Like you saw this team do things that in previous weeks we didn't see. And joining us as well remotely, because he spent all day outside of the MetLife Stadium and the Giants practice facility, standing on top of his car with binoculars, trying to see what Dart and Scatadiddle, what they were doing. Black Gritty joins us remotely. Black Gritty, how are you today, sir?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Loud,
yes.
clear.
Well, first of all, I'm not in the studio because I didn't want to be sitting next to a traitor that went online and tried to make a story about his compadres. He didn't put it in the main channel, but he went on his story and said, I don't know what podcast you listen to, but when you come to the cheap seats and you listen to Trashworth and Fat Gritty and Dumb Andrew, just know that I, E-Rock, the God, is always on the side. It was something like that. All I know was something like that. You probably get that out. But when we told you you was going to lose to the Giants, you ain't have peep to say. And Valley Girl, me told you that if Quinion came down from the heavens above, you ain't even give me no caveat. You just threw us all in the trash, and that's why I won't sit next to you, because you're disrespectful and childish.
The fact that your opening statements on this podcast are accusing me of throwing you, Mr. Blacker, I'm pointing at the screen right now, you, Mr. Blackready, for throwing somebody under the bus, which is you got a black belt in throwing under the bus Kwando. The fact that you would come on here and accuse me of throwing you under the bus, objection, Your Honor.
So you just gonna hit a man with glasses because you're disrespectful and childish. And I say it again. Now, it was a great game. The Eagles passed the ball all over the place. Perfect pass rate, first quarterback this season. Jalen Hurts over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And my wide receiver that said, just get me the ball, throw me the ball, do the ball, is still out here tweeting like a teenage girl and sad and upset because he didn't have the record-breaking day. It wasn't good enough to have 2 touchdowns. It wasn't good enough to go 121 yards. He's still, and everybody know I love AJ. I thanked him for his last tweet. We was down in the streets and hurting. He helped us through a bad time. But now you're doing it when we winning. Look, I'm gonna talk to you about my daughter later and how you raise a child in sports. But this man can take an education from my daughter because at some point you got to be happy. You're married. You got millions. You're famous. You're wearing clothes and doing Bible scriptures on your stories the other time. But then you come out here and cry and complain. Great George W. But now I can't even enjoy it because you got getting used, right? Go talk about it. Come back to me and you got whatever else you want to say. But I heard what you said about us. And like I said, you put it in the story because you're scared. Ask what you ain't saying. You sitting too close to a man that disrespected you. I distinctly heard trash words. I know he said it.
I don't like this trash word. I don't know how I'm getting shrugged under this too.
All of a sudden now he's trying to throw me under the bus.
How did I get involved in this? What did I do?
That I said more than I said.
because we picked the Vikings. We all said we felt like the Vikings were going to get the dub. You know what I mean? That's why. And he was the only one.
So now I'm trash worth and he's fat.
No, listen. What are you trying to say?
Right.
Wow.
What are you trying to say, Brady? That I am the A.J. Brown of this podcast? Is that what you're trying to say? That I'm going to social media to air my grievances?
Why'd you put it in the story like a punk? Why didn't you put it in the main channel?
Because I didn't want to come off the top rope and put it as a regular post.
Because he was scared to see his face to face at first. He thought I was going to miss it. And the 92,000 stories he posted on game day. Every game day, he got 30,000 pre-game, post-game, got the kid doing skits, tricking me with the juggling and stuff, and then bow, Fat Gritty stuck in there. You thought we wasn't going to see it. I saw you. And you can sit right there, Ashworth, with that man if you want to. But I smack him upside the back of it. That's why I'm not in there right now. Keep myself safe.
Andrew, I promise you, that was the open. He is going to mention that no less than 4 more times during this podcast.
Oh, without a doubt.
That he is. You know, isn't it great to all of a sudden the instigator of the podcast gets a little taste of his own medicine?
I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved.
And then all of a sudden, oh, look who's the bad guy. It's Mr. E-Rock over here.
Well, you didn't see the video for real, though.
No, I saw it. I didn't pick up on it the way you did. I just kind of glossed over it.
You got a baby in the house. You got a baby in the house.
I got a baby in the house, right? So I'm distracted. I got things going on. I don't know what I don't really pay attention to his feed that much anyway.
But Andrew's on them gummies. I know what Andrew's doing.
Listen, just like A.J. Brown, I'm going to apologize for the two. You say it wasn't about you two. It wasn't about you two in particular or anything like that, all right? But speaking of A.J. Brown, all right, speaking of A.J. Brown. So how do we even...
Here, let me ask this question.
Okay, go ahead.
To kind of get... Is it... Because you see it too, and Gritty had the same reaction. Like, kind of like, really? The part of me says, all right, I'm kind of getting sick of this. Like, I'll defend AJ all day, right? Because I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with. He can say whatever he wants, and I'm telling you, most of the dudes in the locker room don't really care about it. They don't. Like the coach has to answer for it. He cares about it. So by and large, I don't really care. But there's part of me that's saying, all right, like when's enough enough? What was the point? What are you after? And then I'm starting to think, is this a shtick at this point? Like, is this just like every week he's going to put something out just to get the attention of people, just so we're talking about it, just so he's distracting people from talking about anything else. And like we've said before, take the onus or take the attention and put it on him. Like it's almost a game to him now of what can I say this week? What attention can I garner this week? I'm not saying that's what it is. I just don't have any idea why. Like, what's the explanation for it now? What do you mean they're using me but not using me? What does that even mean?
So when I saw it and I read it, I didn't take it as personally as maybe the first one, because I think the first one was exactly what we thought it was. It was a dig at Jalen Hurts. That's what it was. I don't think we have to beat around the bush. We all know who he was talking about. When I read this one, they're using me, but they're not using me, meaning that, like, I interpreted, I took it soft. I didn't take it personally. I didn't take it hard. I took it as like, all right, they're using me, meaning, I got the touches. A.J. Brown, 4 reception, 121 yards, 2 times in the touchdown, trusted him enough to go on that, big fourth quarter play where he burned Isaiah Rodgers, thought he was going to hit the slant, go sluggo, went for the go. Yeah. easy walk in, but fourth down, obviously a big spot there and a big way to get up in the game early. So they're using me, meaning they're using me now, but you're not going to use me for anything you're not using me.
Well, so to that point, right? Think about it. 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Sluggo, absolutely designed, liked it, and Hurst ripped it.
Yeah.
Threw it right in there where it had to be. They used him on that play. His first touchdown, they didn't use him.
Right.
That was if you went and saw what they did on it was a 4th down? Was it a 4th down or 3rd down?
4th down.
4th down. That's right. On a 4th down play, what the hell route was that? What did you have him doing? It was between him and Jalen because it was definitely, he was not part of the read. He was not part of the progression.
The first
touchdown.
First touchdown.
He was not part of the design.
Right.
And now the play broke down. Go, I got you 6. So they used him, but they weren't planning on using him. That comeback route on that beautiful throw that Jalen had, scrambling out. I think it was 3rd and 13, scrambling out. Again, another fire drill. They used him. They weren't using him. And I wonder if part of him saying is, like, you're using me. You got 6 out of me, picked up a big 3rd down from me. Like, you can use me, write me into the design, write me into the original play call. You're using me, but you ain't going into it using me. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And I don't want to make the first part of the show, or I'm so exhausted with this thing. I don't even. So the first one was, in my opinion, just inexcusable. The second one I can make excuses for. Nevertheless, I think we can all come to agreement that it's like, bro, just shut up.
Agreed.
Just shut up. Do you want to be here or do you not? Are you trying to get traded or not? Because he's just making it so uncomfortable at this point that even when you are going over 100 yards and you're getting into the end zone multiple times, like, what are you even complaining about? Shut up. You see Jalen Hurts at the podium was asked today, hey, did you read the comments? And he's just like, singular focus on the team. Just keep it towards the team. And I cannot help, but continue to watch the New England Patriots continue to rack up wins and think to myself, how close does New England think they are? And would they, like, Gritty, let me ask you, New England, Vrabel or whoever the GM's up there, calls up, hey, Howie, first round pick for AJ. You turning that down?
First round pick, you take it. First round pick, you take it, sure. But so let me just make my point on it. My daughter was going into her senior year in softball, not senior, junior year, and she had said something to the coach that the coach didn't like, and the coach essentially benched her. She's like, well, I'm going to quit because I was just explaining myself, because she's used to being coached hard, so she was just explaining herself. And she's like, well, he's going to bench me. I'm like, well, literally, he can't bench you. You're not the best player on the team, but you're not the worst player on the team. Just go out there every day, show up in practice, and show out. And by the time the game started, she was pinch running for the girl who was super slow. And then she's getting steals. And then she's stealing home plate. Then she gets her spot on the field. Then she gets a spot where she wanted to go. And I'm like, because when you're good, you can't be denied. Now, he might have had a problem with you for sticking up for yourself and saying something, but at least you said it to him. It's not like you went to the girls' softball group chat or went to other girls who were talking about, I'm better than her. Why'd you not in my place? You went to the coach and said, hey, I think that I should be in this spot over her. I think I deserve to be looked at a certain way. My daughter's 16 years old and did that. A.J. Brown, when you don't go to the press conference afterwards and talk, I know you're going to tweet because you're soft. You're mentally soft. Like, I love you, bro. I love you. Like, I was about to put you over T.O. But when I look at Smitty, Heisman, national champion, Super Bowl champion, guess what? He can stop playing football tomorrow. He getting a gold jacket. You're not. So for all this legacy that you want, this is what kept T.O. out a whole extra year and a half because of antics. And yeah, you're not in the driveway, but you're subtweeting, and it's soft. I can't even say it like a female because my daughter wouldn't do that. So at some point, you really do have to shut up and go do your job. And if you don't like something, go to the coaches and tell them. Because other than the fact that when the whole town says run the ball and y'all start running the ball and it works, when the whole town says, why aren't we throwing out an I formation and it works, we apparently don't know nothing. So stop tweeting to me, bro. I can't help you. You got Patullo, you got a quarterback, and you got the coach. Why are you tweeting to me? Except for you want to be insulted by the media. And me getting insulted as a fan. And now I'm an Eagle. I got to watch the national media talk about how dumb we are because we care about your subtweets that make no sense. Embarrassing.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Before we get into some other business and some other transactions, why don't we go ahead and pay some bills up in here?
All right. If your home needs a little TLC, or you're dreaming of that next big vacation, maybe even a trip to come see one of your Philly teams play, listen up. TrueMark Financial's HELOC Select just got even better. Rates have just dropped, making it more affordable to put your home's equity to work. Need a new kitchen? How about some big repairs? Maybe knock out some debt? With HELOC Select, you can access your cash all at once or just when you need it. Total flexibility, just like a good game plan. Make it happen today. Visit one of TrueMark's 24 branch locations or head to TrueMark.com/PHLY and get in the game today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS 404938.
Y'all remember when BG strip sacked the GOAT in the first ever Philadelphia Super Bowl? Of course you do. And now you're going to see BG once again. We're going to get to that in just a second. Well, now BG is bringing us this Cooked Tea Strip Sack Pack so we can savor the flavor. What is a strip sack pack? Well, it's big, it's heavy, and it's juicy, and it's kind of sack, or it's the kind of pack you want to show off. You already know Crooked Tea is 0 sugar and all flavor. Isolate that one, Andrew. And if the strip sack pack is stuffed with 24 cans and collectible trading cards by Jordan Spector. Some of these cards are even signed by Brandon Graham himself. Every case packing heat. From the fridge to the tailgate, this is the one sack you're going to be proud to display. So grab yours today to store near you or on Go Puff. Go Puff. And for our guy BG, we have to send a shout out to all the Philly area bars that are carrying Crooked Tea. Thank you for showing the love. Sports and Social, Allentown, Garage Fishtown, City Tap in Logan Square, and Wicked Wolf on Chestnut. Go out, check them out for game day or a night at the tailgate, and tell them PHLY sent you.
Just checking.
Just
checking.
It's too light to actually have alcohol in it.
You know they have a Jordan Spector card in these.
They do. They
Oh,
do.
Look at this.
However, we do not have any.
No, I don't see any.
And don't forget, guys, some of those Jordan Spector cards, BG cards, might be signed. I got a pack myself. I did not get one of the signed ones, but you too.
Juicy sack pack.
Juicy sack pack. It's going to be a sack that you're proud to display.
Oh, wow, hey. I haven't been shy about displaying my sack.
Hey, hi. So speaking of the devil or the angel, last week I said, Howie, don't do it. And he did it. And now BG is back, and I want to get y'all's reaction first before I kind of lay into to my BG take. Black Grady, let's start with you.
I did not want Brandon Graham to come back and play football. One, because once you leave and you come back, he said he was ramping up and working out and stuff like that. So he's going to be in shape. He's going to be what he is. I love Brandon Graham personally as a human being, and I just thought he was going to be happy and doing his thing. And now he's got to go back there in a situation where, man alive, we need all kinds of help. But he is going to help because the young guys do look up to him. They listen to him. He's got enough gravitas to, like, kind of right the ship, that the ship isn't broken. So I'm happy, but and then I'm like, okay. So, you know, we all love BG. I love Brandon Graham. He's going to help. I wish him all the health in the world. Hopefully they get the rotation going so he's not in there like 40% of the snaps or anything crazy because we are down bad right now, and we need a lot of help. So he's going to come in. He's going to do a great job. Just wish him all the health in the world. And Howie, you better keep making phone calls because we need more than BG.
Phenomenal player, phenomenal leader, veteran presence, legend in Philadelphia. The list goes on in terms of the positive things that you can say about BG. I love BG. We all in Philadelphia love BG. I said something this week that wasn't received very well. I said,
Picking the Vikings?
trash worth wood. I said he deserves better. And people came at me like, what do you mean he deserves better? It's his choice. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. I fully agree. Of course it's his choice. Gritty, you said he's going to come back to right the ship. My problem is it's not his ship to right. It's not his issue to fix. You made the decision for one reason or another. And it's not for me to tell you what that decision was. And I don't know what went into that decision, how much of it was yours, how much of it was the Eagles, how much of it was fit. Irrelevant. The decision was made to retire. He did so. Even in the process of doing so, the Eagles came to him at some point and said, hey, we need your veteran leadership in this locker room. Would you like to return? Vic said he's been nudging him and nudging him and nudging him. And even then, BG said, nah, I'm good. And then they went out and signed Zadarius Smith. They moved on. They transitioned. Zadarius Smith retires. Eagles come knocking again. And I get it. It's his right to change his mind. He's a grown-ass man. He can do whatever he wants. We will welcome him back in Philadelphia with open arms. Your legacy will never be tarnished. But if you think, in my opinion, if you think there wasn't an ounce of BG saying, man, I want to help this organization. Yeah, maybe I don't want to come back and maybe I'd rather stay retired because they've asked me a number of times and I've said no every time. But they need me. And I want to help him. I want to step in. He's doing it for you. He's doing it for the organization. I don't believe he's doing it because he's really saying, God, I'm itching and scratching and clawing. I got to play. Every athlete wants to continue playing. But at some point, they know their body can't hack it anymore or it's time to hang up the cleats. And I genuinely believe BG felt that way last year. He may still have that fire. Every athlete has that fire. But it was enough to where he said, I'm going to retire. And unfortunately, I feel like he's so loyal to this organization. And I feel this organization is leveraging that to say, hey, we need you. We need you to come in and right this ship. There is a little bit of a beef going on with a guy on the gram. You handled that last year for us, didn't you? We got some problems on the edge. You can handle that for us, can't you? No, BG, you can't. You're a really good player, but you're a rotational edge. This team doesn't need a rotational edge. It'll help, sure. But to your point, Gritty, this better not be the last move, Howie. You better go out and you better open up those phone lines. If you're going to get this man out of retirement and tell him he needs to help this squad, because that's what he was told, then you better get on the horn and bring some more talent around so that bringing him back into the fold matters, that it actually matters. This ain't the swan song. He doesn't need to come back. I still feel he deserves better.
BG is all heart.
All.
That's the way I would describe Brandon Graham, is all heart. There's a lot of one-worders that I would associate with different players. Jason Kelce, underdog, 6th-round pick, worked his way as a rookie to being a starting center, so on and so forth, Super Bowl champion. He's an underdog. When I think of Smitty, the Slim Reaper, I would say consistency. Consistency. You always know what you're going to get out of Smitty, right? When I think about Brandon Graham, not only think about Brandon Graham, and I don't know BG. I've talked to BG. We've interacted several times. I've hosted some Q&As with him. But what I know of BG is exactly that. He is all heart. And in saying that, if his heart tells him that he's not done, who am I to deny him? I don't think it tarnishes any legacy, not even a little bit. If anything, it'll just have to, when his story is written and you flip to the last page, Brandon Graham won his 2nd Super Bowl, the end. That page that you see that says the end, you're just going to have to erase it. And it's going to be a page or two, a little bit, hopefully another big ending, but the page is going to be a little bit longer. Brandon Graham mentioned Tom Brady. Nobody remembers that Tom Brady came back. Nobody's going to remember that Jerry Rice was in training camp with the Denver Broncos, and the Denver Broncos said, listen, Jerry, you can either retire because we're going to have to cut you, and it's going to be a bad look to cut Jerry Rice. Nobody's going to remember that other Eagles legends and Eagles greats like John Runyon ended his career with, at the time, the San Diego Chargers. Nobody's going to remember that. What they're going to remember is exactly what we remember in this moment right here. And BG being all heart, and it's been example after example. All heart, that's why he took things so personally with Jalen and A.J. That's why he took things so personally when he went through his little blocking phase where everybody on Twitter was blocked. That's why, even though he follows me, one time after the 2023 season, I said a little something about the team. He took that personally and unfollowed me. And then I had to host him for a Q&A, and he goes, I'm sorry, dog. I was in my field. Because BG takes that stuff personally. I mentioned the book. We're all main characters in our own story. Don't let anybody tell you how that story ends. That's for you to decide. And if you decide that you're not done playing, and if you decide that you still have value, and if you decide that you can help this team coming off of a Super Bowl, which you helped them win, right the ship so maybe you can go after a second one, if you can be that voice in the locker room, man, BG, me nor anybody else can deny you what's in your heart. Go get him, Brandon.
Okay, so I agree. I agree with everything that you're saying. Legitimately, everything. He is all heart. It's not for any of us to tell him one way or the other.
Right.
My problem isn't at all with Brandon Graham. Honestly, my problem is with the Eagles, with the organization because he is all heart. And they know they can tug that string a little bit. They know they're up a creek a little bit, and they can lean in. And that's why Vic was saying, like, hey, I was nudging him all year. Hey, you're not done yet. Hey, you're not done yet. He said he was done. He can change his mind. I get it. But when they asked him the first time, the second time, why wasn't he not done then? Where was it in the heart then? You're always going to have it. It's that fire's always going to be there. Why now? Why week 8? What changed? Other than the fact that they're hurt at edge. Somebody retired. We've got issues. We need you. They're pulling on his heartstrings and making him feel somewhat invested and responsible to right a ship that's not his to right. He did his time. He served for this team and this organization. You're coming in here to do what? I get the swans. I get the storyline. I get it. For me, because I love BG, I don't like the onus or whatever that is that messaging is to BG that they're putting on him to make him feel like, yep, I'm coming back. That's just my personal opinion.
And he did vocalize that. I think, but Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. He did say that right here on PHLY, that this wasn't the first time they asked me to come back. They asked me to come back in the beginning of the season. Can you see a scenario where in the beginning of the season, no, you guys kind of, I really, you knew I kind of didn't want to, but you kind of nudged me out. So you made this bed, go ahead and lie in it. And then after 7 weeks, you start to see all the stuff that maybe a veteran presence in a locker room, a voice that is greatly missed. All of a sudden, this turmoil, because all this stuff didn't pop up until later on, midway, past the midpoint of the season last year. And then BG, I'll never forget it. I was sitting outside of jiu-jitsu class listening to I was late to class because my jaw was on the car seat floor because I was like, is he really saying B? Like if I was there, sometimes I am. If I was there, I mean, I wouldn't have gone like this, but I would have looked at him like,
there
what
are
are
people
you doing?
doing that. There are people doing that. I was there that night when he did it, and I was like, sitting next to somebody like, what did he just say? And I'm like, he's in trouble.
Yeah, but look how it all worked out. And maybe even at the age of, what is he now, 37?
37.
I think the Eagles grossly underestimated the leadership and the voice that he had in that locker room. And if you're BG and they ask you to come back week 1, can you see a scenario where maybe a little bit of hurt feelings like, nah, dog, you nudged me out of here. This is your bed, lying it. And then you see everything that's going on and you're thinking, man, if I was in that locker room, boy, if I could pull this. Because talking to him before the season, another Q&A. I was like, where are you going to be for this? He's like, I'm going to be on the sidelines chirping. I'm going to be on the sidelines I'm going to be with my guy. Have you seen him on the sidelines at all? No. But now he's back. Now he's back on the sidelines. I'm not saying BG is the answer. I'm not saying that Superman's going to put on his cape and he's going to come back and everything's going to be fine and he's going to be the answer to unlocking this entire season or the woes that the Eagles have had offensively or defensively. But my God, what are you scared of?
Gritty, can I softball something to you?
Sure.
I feel like you'll appreciate this. If, in fact, what you say is correct, and last year they underestimated how important he was in that locker room, how much of a leader he was to that team, which I agree with. I think obviously he is. And then you see what's happening this year, and there's a little unrest again in the locker room that's not getting solved, that's not being addressed. All right, well, hold on. Maybe we underestimated the impact this guy had. Let's get him back in this locker room. I'm softballing this to you just because I feel like it's fair to say. What does that say about your vibes guy? What's that say about your culture guy? What's that say about your head coach, that he's supposed to be the guy that controls these things and is able to be that leader of men, that's able to be able to corral these issues? That no, it's not your coach. That it's my defensive end last year who handled it, and it's not working. So let me go get that guy back in the locker room because I can't do it. I'm not saying that's the case, but BG, doesn't it kind of look like that?
So, first of all, we've been talking for half an hour and we haven't really talked about the game yet. This is why tweeting is problematic. This is why Brandon Graham coming back is problematic, because the regular fan, and us included, like say the media does this, the media does that. Well, sometimes the team shoots themselves in the foot. And you softball that question up to me, and the only thing I could think of is I don't want to have this conversation. Because if I wanted to be real about this conversation, when you lost 6 games straight, I heard BG come out every week and say, we one play away, we one guy away, we getting it together, we gonna be cool, we gonna be cool. And you lost 7 games straight and got bounced out of the postseason. That's what Brandon Graham. That was Brandon Graham all full tilt. And Brandon's gone now. You know who I got who had learned something from Brandon Graham? The guy who took over the Brandon Graham show, Jordan Mailata. One block away, one play away. We're going to get it together. We got to sit together. Mr. Positive, hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. So it's not like he didn't teach people something. It's not like everybody wasn't listening in the locker room. I'm just saying sometimes you're right. The vibe guy's got to be the vibe guy. And Brandon Graham ain't going to make no difference other than helping out in a rotational situation where we're screwed. And I hate having this conversation because I love Brandon Graham and him being back on the team, talking trash and all that stuff makes me happy. But it also makes me sad because we're in a situation where we have we're winning games and we're winning them in weird, unconventional ways. Let's talk about how we are now a passing team. We can't run the ball. Saquon, I don't care what anybody says. Saquon don't look like Saquon. Somebody said to me, "Well, they're not run blocking." So you mean to tell me even with Tothin and with Landon being out and then Jurgens being out, swapping in and out, you mean to tell me I'm not better than the Bears' offensive line? I'm not better than the Bengals' offensive line? I know we got Stoughton University. So whenever I tell somebody Saquon don't look that good, and when I watch a Tank come in there or Dylan come in there and they're bust for 10 yards off, 10 yards off it, either it's everyone's focusing on Saquon and not letting him do nothing with an okay offensive line, or he ran for 2,000 yards too and his legs are a little bit tired and he's banged up. But don't tell me it's because our offensive line is so bad that we can't run at all. Because I just gave you the Bengals and the Bears. Go watch Swift. Swift is out here look real quick on people. Ain't that much room. They're not blowing people off the line. He's getting hit behind the line. So we're past the team. Air it out, Jalen Hurts, and let's figure it out. Because Jalen doesn't want to seem to be running either. When you look around the league, you look at Daniels and all these other mobile quarterbacks getting hit and dinged up. So right now we're a passing team, guys. We should be happy. A.J. should be happy. Smitty, record game, 183 yards through the air. Oh, catching balls over Baghdad. I mean, we had a great – Minnesota's no slouch. I told you. We went out there to Denver. We passed all over the second best defensive back team in the league. We lost, but then we just went out there against Minnesota, and we put up those yards against the best defensive back team in the league. They never let anybody pass for over 20-yard touchdown passes or plays like that. So if we can do that to them, that's who we are going for. I know Jalen said we're trying to figure out our identity week to week, but we're a passing team, guys. Yeah.
But you have to, a couple things, Grit. You have to continue to run the ball. One of the reasons why they were able to pass the ball so effectively, and Smitty said it, there was safeties in the box constantly. There were safeties up in the box constantly, which leaves your outside. They're basically daring you to throw the ball. And Jalen was on his game. Perfect passer rating, only the 3rd time in Eagles history. You still have to continue to run the ball. The problem that we're dealing with right here is just an overall lack of talent. Yeah, I'm going to say it, an overall lack of talent and depth along the offensive line. The offensive line, we're dealing with the same problem that we have at CB2. You got Keeley, you got Adoree. They just opened the practice window for Bennett, so maybe he'll be back. I don't know when, but he's coming back soon. You basically have a group of guys. They can have different names, different heights, different weights, different jersey numbers, but they're the same guy. They're all the same talent level. This is what worried about me about going into the season this year is that you have a lot of top line talent on this team. The back end of the roster, the middle and the back end of the roster had a lot of question marks about. And I think that red flag showed up again when Howie Roseman had that flurry of transactions trying to fill out the back end of the roster because these guys, they knew it just weren't going to cut it. Heaven forbid somebody goes down. So now you got Landon hurting. You got Cam hurting. You know what I mean? Steen, whatever. And you've got guys up there that are just guys. Stoutland can only do so much with what he's got. He can take an Aussie rugby player and mold him into a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, one of the best left tackles in the NFL. If you've got only X amount of talent, the coaching can be on point. Those guys just kind of are what they are. And they really, if they need their guys to get healthy and start mauling people again, because then and I won't disagree with you. Saquon does look like he lost a step, but I will take Saquon without a step over 90% of the running backs in the NFL right now. But you need a healthy offensive line to do it.
All right, can I level set us real quick? Because in listening to both of you, and I don't disagree with anything you guys said, but in listening to both of you, I actually just got filled with some positivity here, legitimately.
Okay.
Because I sit here and I say, everything that you're saying is right. A lot of top line, depth is a challenge. Saquon certainly doesn't look the same. The reasons, we can debate what those reasons look like. Issues. Pick it. There are issues on this football team right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're 5-2. And it's not just cupcake 5 wins. You beat the Chiefs. You beat the Bucks. You beat the Rams. You just beat the Vikings. Who am I missing? Who's the 5th win? It's a good win. I can't even think of it in my head. Oh, you beat Dallas week 1, right? You've got good wins in there. And I remember last year sitting in these seats saying, we got a lot of issues, right? We all know how last year ended up because I would sit here every week and I would tell you, yeah, I mean, but it's Detroit and everybody else. That's what I always said last year. It's Detroit. And then eventually I would say, well, it's Detroit, then Philadelphia. And then it was, look, I'm not scared of anybody in the NFC. Right now, the only team in the NFC legitimately, as I'm sitting here talking about the issue, Detroit. It's Detroit again. I'm not worried about the Packers. I'm not worried about Dallas. I'm not worried about the Commanders. I'm not worried about the Rams. Tampa just lost Mike Evans for the season. We already beat them. I'm not worried about teams in the NFC. It's the Lions. Same exact feeling as I had last year around this time. And maybe they're starting to turn a corner. I'm not saying they're going to turn the corner, Gritty. I know you got a response for me. I know you're cooking something up under that green hat. I'm just telling you that as I'm listening to you, something kind of sat in and told me, yeah, but they got 5 wins. They're trying to get in the right direction, and the NFC's wide open. So, all right, maybe I need to take a step back and let them work. Let them figure it out. Maybe they've earned that.
Gritty.
We're not winning the Super Bowl this year. So I listen to what you're saying, and you're right about Southern University, but that's also an excuse.
Yep.
That's an excuse that I haven't. That's not an excuse I've been allowed myself to listen to since 2001.
I know.
The only thing I know about the Philadelphia Eagles is the trenches. All I know is the trenches. And guess what? Like I said, when I look around the league and I see the Bears have a quarterback who got sacked 492 times last season, get a different offensive coordinator, the only difference is this guy's scheming up stuff. When I go out there and I see McCaffrey, a running back who just came off of a broken wheel, what are they doing? They're passing to him all over the place. So I don't have confidence in a scheme or a system or anything to help me. It was nice to see them have Jalen do things. I'm like, did you listen to Dan Orlovsky or something? Because him and Baldy been talking about this stuff that you finally did in week 7, 8. Like I don't have the confidence. So if you're telling me that the injuries are the reason we look like that, we rushed for 2,000 yards last year. The offensive line is beat to hell. They're not going to be able to get healthy. Besides the fact that they have to destroy people off the line to have the running game look like anything with Saquon. They also have to pass block, and we are 99% touch pushing, which is putting them in instant car crashes 4 to 6 times a game. So guess what? They better air the ball out. You think they got to run the ball? I don't care what Smitty said. Smitty, like I said, Heisman with that, he came from the saving tree. He know what he's talking about. But you can't run the ball. You put fear in people's heart by putting Saquon back there. He is a shiny decoy right now. You just read the stats out. So again, we ain't winning the Super Bowl if you're telling me that's how I got to feel about the offensive line, have people in there. So everybody better get healthy after the bye, and we better have a push. But again, everybody's hurt and tired and dinged up. But I'm watching other trash panda lines get dudes booging and cooking. So one or two things got to change. Either the scheme got to change, or we got to get super healthy and be one of the luckiest teams in the world, which has happened to us twice with runs to the Super Bowl. So good luck with
You know what the answer is? You know what the answer is. And it's not getting healthy. I mean, every team has to get healthy, but every team also deals with injuries. You're 100% right. It's going to be more along the lines of the scheme has to change, and Petullo's going to have to wake his ass up because
he did a good job last week.
I don't think he did. See, I don't think he did.
I think he did.
I don't think he did. And like with all due respect, because Jalen had a great game, and there were plays that, I mean, the Smitty bomb, they talked about that, and Petullo went into this novel as to how that came about. And usually when you go into a novel, you're defending yourself or you're protecting yourself or trying to shape shift the conversation a little bit. It's a very one-word answer. Yeah, we work on it in practice. We saw it, we capitalized on it. Instead, you're giving me this book of how somehow you came up with it, which means, this was shaky. The reason I say it wasn't necessarily, I didn't necessarily love it is, bro, they suck on first down. They suck on first down. They are, if it wasn't for Jalen, if it wasn't for what he was able to do with the receivers and bail them out on numerous occasions, whether it be a third down here, fourth down there, they are playing behind the sticks every damn drive. First down is a wash. It's a giveaway. It's 2nd and 13. Sorry. At best, it's 2nd and 10. And as long as that continues to be the problem, I don't care whether you run it. I don't care whether you throw it. But you ain't going to pick up chunk plays when you're constantly playing behind the sticks. You're not going to get the offense into a rhythm when you're constantly playing behind the sticks. Go look at them on first down. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL on first down in terms of yards per play. And I don't know if that's, what, is that the line? I don't know. Is that your quarterback? I don't know. Is that your play caller? That's where I'm betting, because I just have not at all been impressed on first down with this team. And I'm just telling you, they got to get it. They better get that right. First and foremost, you better get that right.
Speaking of getting right, let's it's time to pay some more bills. Let's pay a couple bills. If your home needs a little TLC, or you're dreaming of that next big vacation, maybe even to see one of your Philadelphia teams play away, listen up. TrueMark Financial's HELOC.
And I already read that one. I already read that one. You got one over there. Why are you taking my scripts?
Oh, my bad.
This guy over here.
You go on
that one. All right, let me go. You want to take a break?
Nah, yeah.
Take a break. Holiday steals are here at Ashley. It's perfect time to get your home ready for the season and save big. From stunning dining sets for all your holiday feasts to super cozy sectionals, perfect for movie nights. We have everything you need to make this season magical. And the more you shop, the more you save, with up to 25% off store-wide. Or take advantage of our special financing with the 5-year no-interest plan. Discover great deals in-store and online only at Ashley.
See what happens when Black Gritty's not in the studio?
I was wondering why you were taking my script, bro.
Because I had it over here. I'm all messed up.
Yeah.
Gritty's not here, and it's messing me all up. He's the one that keeps us in line with the ad reads. Darn it. Ready for the Ultimate Flyers giveaway? PHLY and Philly Sports Trips are taking Diehards west for the California takeover with Flyers legend John LeClair. From March 17th to the 22nd, we're hitting the West Coast for 2 huge games. First, the Anaheim Ducks at the Honda Center, and then the Los Angeles Kings at the Crypto.com Arena. Your package includes optional round-trip direct flights from Philly, a 5-night stay in the beautiful Sanborn, Santa Monica, group tickets to both games, a Flyers watch party, and an exclusive meet and greet with John LeClair. Plus, the Philly Sports Trips crew will be there to handle every detail, so you can just enjoy the sun, the sights, and the hockey. This California vacation is every Flyers fan dream. This California vacation, every Flyers fan dreams of, with a couple of wins to top it off. Spots are limited. Book your trip today at allphly.com/events.
Just take a look.
It's in a book.
It's reading rainbow.
How's that GoFundMe going with the ad reads, like, as far as getting me like hooked on phonics?
We'll get you there.
I'm like
We'll
Rocky.
get you there.
I just can't read too good.
So I
can't
tell
read
you,
too good.
I tell you, you know, this is what happens when you call people trash worth and fat gritty. This is what happens.
Second time.
We got two more. We got two more to hit the quota.
This is what happens.
There.
You
Jason,
get stuck having to read. I wasn't there to help you out. Woo, buddy.
Yeah, like I was saying, Jason, you said that the NFC is wide open, and last week I was claiming to the high heavens that I don't care what other team is doing. I don't care what the Bills lost 2 games. That doesn't make what the Eagles did against the Giants excusable. But I did take a brief peek at the NFC standings, like just for fun. And
Could you read them?
I did.
You were able to read them.
I even wrote them down.
Ooh.
I can do that too.
You overachiever.
I spelled the Packers Pakrs. Green Bay Bey. If the playoffs started today, Green Bay Packers would have the 1 seed of 4-1-1. 49ers would have the 2 seed of 5-2. 3rd seed would be the Eagles, 5-2. 4th seed would be the Bucks, 5-2. 5th seed would be the Lions, 5-2. 6th seed, Seahawks. Guess, 5-2. And Rams, drum roll please, 5-2, right? So the NFC is indeed wide open. It's a muddle of just teams that are trying to figure it out, having tough losses, getting big wins. Basically, the playoff picture for the whole NFC as it stands right now is like when I said a bunch of guys on the offensive line and when I said a bunch of guys for CB2, the NFC playoff picture is a bunch of teams. So I ask you gentlemen now, because my stance may have softened upon the trade deadline as it looms. November 4th, I believe, that the NFL trade deadline is. We're not that far away. Do the Eagles, you, Black Riddy, said, don't, Howie, this better not be it with Brandon Graham. You echoed the same sentiment. So what's the move, boys? If we're all 5-2 and we have to separate ourselves from the pack, what's the move?
You're not setting me up. Last week you asked me the same question, and then both of you were like, don't make the move. And I went off this diatribe of moves I would make. So I'll let Gritty go first.
So I'm going to flip Jalen Hurts, start Tanner McKee. Oh, wait, you want the realistic stuff. So I need a cornerback that's serviceable. I don't need to be all world, but I need someone serviceable. And I need a defensive edge. You're going to have to go up draft capital for it, and you'll be fine because when you flip AJ in the offseason, you're not trading AJ in the middle of the year. The only team that you could get him to are the Patriots, and you're in a what's that thing called? Playing chicken when you're driving. Who's going to break first? Is that what
it's playing chicken? Yeah, it's chicken.
Playing chicken. So you're sitting there with them like, well, I don't want to give you a first. Well, I want a first. They really want him really bad. We don't want to send him there really. And unless you give us what we want, he's not going anywhere until the offseason where you can actually make a better deal for him. Because I would still need a wide receiver. I can't have the dreams that I have and just have Smitty and the other slop that we have. But we need an edge and we need a cornerback. Someone in the chat earlier said we also need an offensive lineman. No one's giving up an offensive lineman. Even if you're in the bottom of the pack and you're not going anywhere, you're not giving up a lineman. People just don't do it. You need them. They're gold. So give me a D end and a cornerback, and I'll be happy.
You know, last week I was very adamant. I think my words are, and I quote, "Don't you dare, Howie. Don't you dare do it." And then I'm watching the game on Sunday, and I am watching one Nakobe Dean take 31 snaps, 45% of the defensive snaps, look good doing so. I'm watching Campbell play edge, which I think he'll have to adapt to that role, because I don't know if you watched it or watched it back or was keeping a close eye on number 30 when 17 was in the game. But 30 was getting swallowed up, right? My man was just getting swallowed up. Now, I can't damn the kid or say that he performed poorly because I don't know what his assignment was. His assignment may have been by Vic Fangio just saying, hey, listen, we're getting lit up by scrambling quarterbacks, and Carson Wentz, despite his flaws, is still a guy who can run the ball. We just simply need you to set that edge. That might have been all he was asked to do. But nevertheless, he was getting swallowed up. And I'm watching the Kobe Dean tackle for losses looking good. And thinking to myself, why was I adamant against the trade deadline? Well, you told me all offseason that money was worth its weight in gold right now. We got some big contracts coming up. We don't want to sign anybody big because that's going to mess up with our comp pick status as far as the picks that we're receiving in the comp pick equation. Well, here's a way to trade and maybe get one of those edge rushers like I see the Nando Knight in the comments section and other people suggesting what they might trade for or what position group they might trade for. But what say you to maybe Nakobe Dean, which will not cost you draft capital nor dollars, getting moved for maybe an edge, maybe a corner, or maybe just some depth at offensive line. What say you, Mr. Jason Ashworth?
Well, I would say who are you targeting, first of all? If you want me to if you want to move on from a guy that I feel is pivotal to that leadership role, to a voice on that defense, then what type of guy are you targeting? Like, what caliber of name are you targeting? Are you going after like a Trey Hendricks? A Trey Hendrickson? Is that the type of guy? Or are you just going after like another body to throw at edge? That's, to me, that's like a qualifier. I need to understand that because right, wrong, or indifferent, Nakobe Dean is a voice. We're talking about leadership and veteran presence, and this defense, they need dogs, right? He's a Georgia Bulldog. And then I saw a clip of him prior to the Vikings game. It's only his second game. The first game against the Giants, he played just special teams. He's in this huddle. Dude, my blood's juiced. I'm getting amped. He's saying, like, we are those dudes. This is we are the best in the world, right? He's telling this to all pros. We are the best in the world, right? And they've lacked that mentality. They lack, in trying to communicate this, I want to use so many words that I can't use, but we lack that on defense. So if you're telling me, hey, let's get rid of that guy, I would say, well, that's counterproductive. That's counterproductive. Unless you're getting me a guy that is an impact player on the edge, I'm not moving to Kobe Dean. I'm just not doing it for me.
So when I brought that, I'm gonna go back and find the tape. But when I said that before the season happened, he said he's coming back week 8. Ashworth wasn't super aggressive, but you were like, and now you're trying to flip, my boy.
Yeah, no, I flipped.
Okay.
You were right. No, listen, new information equals new opinions. I said what I said, and that's why whenever I go against what I previously stated, I will go back and state what I previously stated.
Yeah.
You previously stated it. I was enamored by the depth at linebacker and what could possibly be, and I give Vic Fangio a lot of credit for doing. Not that he heard it from us, but we knew what was coming. Listen, there's going to be opportunities to put Campbell at edge, putting Nakobe in there. But after watching how good he looked, Gritty, I got to admit, you had a point, and I'm agreeing with you now. Yeah, I flipped.
Because I thought that if we did have so many problems on edge, there have been a couple teams in the league that have athletic linebackers. Linebackers are making a comeback. I forget which team it was, but they were running 3 linebackers I was watching. I'm like, what is going on? But when you got athletic guys and they can cover a little bit, you could do that. But yeah, that was my process earlier. I wasn't going to bring it back up because at the same time, Nakobe's out there sure tackling. And my goodness, other than him and Coop and Quinyon, I haven't, Blankenship, where you been at, baby? I haven't seen good tackling by this team. So when I saw Nakobe coming there with his little 6 tackles, 1 or 2 tackles for loss, I was like, I missed that, baby. So if he can give me somebody useful, it would be good.
So I also think, Riddy, to that point, it's premature to even say that.
Well, you got to figure it out.
We're running out of time.
No. I mean, it's premature to sit here and act like an NFL team is going to give you something really worthwhile for Nakobe Dean at this point. We're talking about things that were said that we got to go back on. Right? I told you, hey, I don't care when he comes back. He is not going to be at 95% 90%. I had him, maybe he's at 80% at this point, like in a comeback, and he won't be right till next year. So even so, he had a good game. He played really well. And it was fun to see. It was great to see. How did his knee feel this week? Right? Can he stack them? Can he show 2 games back to back? Does he overcompensate at any time and wind up blowing a quad, for example? Because that happens when you're recovering and dealing with injuries. Other things start nagging, and you start pulling muscles that you weren't used to pulling. He's got to stack games before a team's going to give you something of note. So while I agree he looked really good, and while I agree selfishly I don't want to get rid of him, I also think it's a little premature to think that, hey, we gave him 31 snaps and he looked good. Now we're going to go ahead and solve our problem on the edge by just kind of moving to Kobe Dean. I think NFL teams would want to see a lot more than what they saw out of just one game, considering the nature of the injury.
Considering the nature of the injury, but they also got the tape from last year. And if again, all these teams are kind of muddled up in the middle.
I agree.
It's going to be a very interesting trade deadline around the NFL because there's a lot of teams who are still in it. That's the thing. Everyone's kind of still in it. And if you're not in it right now, all those teams I rattled off, there's teams in the hunt that are going to.
Then why would they give you something? Like, in order to get Dean, because they're still in it, they got to give you something that would hurt their prospects, their chances.
Not necessarily, unless you have an excess of something.
Yeah, it's got to be the perfect marriage.
It's got to be the perfect marriage. It's also going to be incredibly interesting to see how Howie Roseman plays this trade deadline, because I think Howie, for the first time in maybe a long time, is playing his hand from a place of, I don't know, a short stack at the poker table.
Better have a good bluff.
He's short stacked. We're so used to Howie Roseman kind of having the upper hand and everything, kind of playing with all the chips, right? He's got the chips, he's got the hand, and he kind of takes advantage of the situation. Brandon Graham, as much as we love him, as much as I agree with it, or maybe some people disagree with it, that is it sniffs of a little bit of desperation, just like that 100%. Flurry of activity in the beginning. Sniffs of a little they're going to know the Philadelphia Eagles, if they want to make another run at it, they're a little desperate right now. Maybe we can take a little bit of advantage of it. Does Howie allow that to happen to get what he wants? Does he allow to pull another miraculous, we pulled the wool over somebody else's eyes again, like the Tennessee Titans or one of these teams that are just at the bottom of the basement right now? It's going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see what Howie Roseman does in this scenario. But why don't we go ahead and get to Woo Player of the Week? Grady, go ahead and cite the order.
So the order goes me, Andrew, Ashworth, E.
Oh, boy. Oh, I'm on the last. Okay, let me look at my notes.
I better have a backup.
Okay. All right.
So my Woo Player of the Week was someone we just discussed. Okay. That I didn't think we were going to talk about trade, but now we might trade him, so maybe I should make him might as well make him my Woo Player of the Week while I still got him on the squad. Kobe Dean came back in off that injury. I think earlier than he said he was expecting himself to come back and play. He said week 8, 9. You know what I mean? He's out here looking good, couple tackles for loss, and his communication with the team, you can see it instantly, just him barking at people, getting people in the right position. He is a leader. Again, getting another player back helps the defense, but I think having him out there on the field really helps the defense too, because he is a great leader and a good vocal leader, and he does things the right way. So for making it back early, for looking spry and bouncy, my Woo Player of the Week is Nakobe Dean. Is my Woo Player of the Week.
We're gonna have to work on that, boys. That wasn't our best woo.
It's what happens.
I'm remote. I'm remote. I'm not here with you.
Yeah, he's on a delay.
He's
on a delay.
All right, Andrew, who's your woo?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to a guy who had a career game. I don't even remember 187, 183. What was the total yardage?
A lot.
Those green
9 receptions, 183 yards, and a tutty.
Ooh, those highlighter green cleats looking real good. Doesn't complain. Doesn't say much. Goes out each game, does his job. And did he do his job during that game against the Vikings? DeVonta Smith, you are my Woo Player of the Week.
Can I throw a curveball? I'm that confident that he is not going to get mine. That I'm gonna jump you to the third spot.
Okay.
I'll go fourth. Go ahead.
No.
No?
You go.
Okay.
You go.
Mine's a curveball, and I wanted to give it last week, so it's really my woo player of the last 2 weeks. And I say this because I'm coming from a very, very selfish place. This is all about me right now. This is all about me and what I want right now. And I am a proud Penn State alum, right? And that university had to make a very difficult decision. They had to go ahead and let a guy go who did a lot of winning in Happy Valley, albeit didn't win the big games. We get that. We totally understand that. But for me, for everything that coach meant to Happy Valley, and I'm not saying his name on purpose, Gritty, because I don't want to get anyone confused, but for everything that coach meant to Happy Valley, what he meant to the community, what he did for that program, what he meant to the players and their parents, and how he went about his business, you couldn't ask for a better head coach. So letting a guy go of that caliber is a difficult decision. But when your AD, Pat Kraft, steps in and says, no, not good enough. You deserve better. We're going to go out and we're going to grab somebody that appreciates and understands the storied tradition, but isn't afraid to evolve. We're going to go out. We're going to leverage NIL money. We're going to get involved in the transfer portal. We are going to bring a national championship to Penn State. Not an easy decision to make, a ballsy decision, if you ask me. That's a very ballsy decision that their AD, Pat Kraft, had to make, and he made it. And for that reason, I appreciate him. Pat Kraft, you are my player of the week.
So you guys are just gonna give me the
Layups.
You're just gonna gift wrap it, hand it to me.
Take it.
Yeah.
After the naysayers and all the haters were trying to come back, crawling underneath their rocks or out of their mother's basement, whichever came first, and said, I told you Jalen Hurts wasn't the guy. I told you Jalen Hurts was a fraud and a phony. And despite the fact that he won a Super Bowl, he went and got his lick back and became Super Bowl MVP and showed you the fact that he can do it and did everything that you asked. All the naysayers once again crawled back into their mommy's basements and underneath their rocks. Jalen Hurts, 19 of 23, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. According to, and I don't want to violate the rules because I don't want to say another name.
Don't do it.
But I got to give him credit. So according to a very intelligent, albeit curmudgeonly, beat writer, whose initials are RF, 108.9 passer rating is the highest in Eagles history through 7 games, and he is only the 3rd quarterback in NFL history with 70% completions, 70% completion percentage. Thank you. 11 or more passing touchdowns and 1 or less INTs. Jalen Hurts, you are my player of the game.
Can I add player of the week? Can I add to this? To what you're
everything is like so I'm like right there.
You're working.
At least I didn't say 2 names.
Number 1 in the NFL in terms of touchdown to interception ratio. Top 5 in passer rating. Top 5 in completion percentage. So just to kind of throw that in there. And Gritty, because I've been paying attention. I've been eyeing this up, and you have brought it to my attention. I want to circle back. Not there yet. He's not there yet. Not there yet. Currently, he's on pace for like 36-50 and 27 touchdowns, right? Now, the last 3 weeks, he's been ramping that up, averaging like 295 a game. He needs to average 235 a game to hit the 4,000 clip. Throw 1 or 2 touchdown passes more, and we're on pace for my bold prediction of the 4,000 yards and 30 tutties, right? Wow. Passing tutties. He was not anywhere close to it a couple weeks ago. Just telling you, he's turning the corner. Just saying.
Because we're a passing team.
Because we're a passing team, Gritty. And I knew that. That's why I made the bold prediction.
And, the one thing that was lacking out of Jalen Hurts' game, not only on Sunday, but really through the entire season, is really the rushing aspect. And it was concerning. And again, I'll point to the offensive line and everything, but nevertheless, offensive line, all these Bears offensive line, you refuse to believe and all that stuff. But it did strike me like Jalen's just not having the same kind of dynamic, explosive, big play success in the running game that we're kind of accustomed to seeing through his first 6 seasons in the league. And
Saying
then
him running?
him running.
Him running.
And then I was listening to Donovan McNabb talk about Jalen Hurts. And Donovan McNabb said something very interesting. He goes, well, in my first handful of seasons, I was a running quarterback too. And then I had to either A, stay like that and have a shortened career, or I had to evolve into a pocket passer. And that just kind of that struck me. So I just for grins and giggles, just to see if the math was mathing, I had to look at Donovan's rushing stats through his first 6, right? Donovan, his rookie season, which really doesn't count, 313 yards, 629 yards, 482 yards, 460 yards, 355 yards. Everything else after that in his career was around 200 to 100 yards. Jalen Hurts, 354 rushing yards his rookie season. We can watch that. 784, 760, 605, 630. Currently has 185. Could it be that Jalen Hurts, especially after looking at it through the lens of last Sunday's game against the Vikings, is maybe evolving as a passer? Because when I looked at Jalen playing that game, I looked at a guy who had his eyes constantly downfield, and despite the pressure, which the Minnesota Vikings were bringing, and despite the lack of production, which the Eagles, especially in the interior offensive line, eyes downfield, keeping the ball in his hands, protecting the ball, scrambling so his guys could go ahead and make plays. Maybe, just maybe, Jalen Hurts is evolving as a passer, which would speak to your thing, Gritty. It's a passing offense.
So I hate to be benevolent and release the knowledge that I am from the future, and I'm like a godlike person. But a few weeks ago, Jalen Hurts had a rocking first half of football. Then he went 0 for 8 in the second half, and everybody wondered, how could he do that? That's trying to miss all these. Well, on the first drive out of the third quarter, he slid, got hit, banged his head off the ground, and Lane Johnson had to pick him up. He had a concussion. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what's going on. He can't miss every single pass for a half and have it be anything other than brain fog, okay? After that game, he stopped running because even when he runs and protects himself, he can get hit and be totally dismantled for a game. I don't even know that he's evolved into a pocket passer because he hasn't done it in 28 games since the last time he had over 300. Jalen Hurts is literally the only player that I know that I've seen in my lifetime. I would assume somebody like a Joe Montana might have been the same way. A guy who literally does whatever it takes to win. If I got to throw it 40 times to win, I'm going to throw it. If they have to run the ball 90 times and I don't get to throw it, that's fine. He literally has no ego in how he gets victories. He doesn't come out of a game saying, I didn't get 5 passing touchdowns. Oh, man. He just goes by the game plan, and whatever it takes to win, he does it. But I know that he got a concussion on that play, and he's like, I can't do it anymore, bro. I can't even run and slide to protect myself. So unless I absolutely have to, I'm not doing it anymore. So if this is the way we got to do it, because guys out here tweeting and textbooking all the time, Smitty's going to go out there and do some work, then we're just going to be a passing team. Tulo, pick it up. Do something different, design something. The league isn't that hard. The one thing I never understand when people tell me about playbooks, and I was joking last week about us not having a genius of McVay and Shanahan. Like, you can't just go steal a couple plays from these guys. You can't just go steal a couple plays. I mean, nobody would expect you to run it. So why can't you just go grab a play or two? But I feel like Jalen Hurts is just the epitome of a selfless, egoless player who, if he has to air it out for 300 yards, he's happy to do it. If he throws for 101 and they get the dub, he doesn't care, and we're lucky to have him.
So you said Joe Montana, a name that popped into my head in terms of a good quarterback that does what needs to win, and you guys are not going to like this name at all. That's what Troy Aikman did, a lot of.
100%.
You know what I mean? We're going to run the ball. We got the best offensive line. We have a Hall of Fame running back. Run it. No, I'm not saying he's running, but I'm saying the game plan is run it. And then when they said, hey, Troy, go ahead, sling it. Like, we need your arm today, or we need your arm this half. That's what he would go do. And that dude would take a licking, and he would do whatever the team needed him to do, whether it was throw it or hand it to Emmett. 30 times a game, and you never heard a peep. All they did was just win football games. That's all he cared about. Now, back to the Jalen Hurts. I think it's interesting that and it's a very, very, very fine line, I think, specific to Jalen, in terms of comparing him to Donovan, because you mentioned what Donovan did his first 6 years. Those were Donovan's best years. When Donovan was mobile, those were when he was at his best. It's when he, quote unquote, evolved that he wasn't as dynamic. He wasn't as dangerous. They drafted him in 99. 04 was probably his best year. What did he do 05, 06, 07? I mean, okay. He wasn't special. His best years, his best playoff runs, his Super Bowl appearance, all happened within the first 5 years. Jalen Hurts, his first 5 years, he's got 2 Super Bowl appearances, because it's that fine blend of, yes, you want to evolve and you want to stay healthy. Caveat, they protect the quarterback more than they ever have, so the league's already trying to help you stay healthy. But it's that fine line of what makes you dynamic. We have to respect his feet because he will use them. We have to respect his arm because he's got it and he's proven that it could be a legit weapon for him. I hated when Donovan, quote unquote, evolved, because I looked at him and said, dude, you're giving away what makes you so damn dangerous. Do I want Jalen to take care of his body? Do I want him to have a sustained long career? Yes, I do. But there's a reason he's helped this football team get to 2 Super Bowls. There's a reason he helped them win a Super Bowl. And he was the MVP in that Super Bowl. And a lot of the reason was that he picked up a lot of first downs, big plays with his legs. So I want to see him evolve, but I don't want to see him get away from what makes him so special, so dangerous, because that's a weapon. Got to have that.
That's fair. And what Donovan said, especially with the rushing thing and evolving into a pocket passer, and just combining that with the mental image of what I saw on Sunday, which was a guy extending plays using his legs, but within the pocket. I was really impressed. One of the things that's impressing, 2 things that are standing out to me, if you're going to say, what's impressed you about Jalen Hurts this year? Number one is press conferences. I think he's being a little bit more open, candid, a little bit more nicer, a little bit more talkative, a little bit more giving credit to other teammates, a little bit more, not just the fortune cookie answers and the one-word answers. I'm enjoying Jalen Hurts' press conferences for once. Number 2, I think his pocket presence has really stepped up this year. Gritty, what do you think?
Sure. I agree. After last year, I don't have any questions about Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. Last year, I answered all my questions, and it was literally like his worst passing statistical year. But the year before that, everybody was worried about, oh, can he handle the blitz? Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to pick up the blitz. Kelsey's going to leave him. Kelsey calls all the blitzes, and he just destroyed that notion for me. That was my biggest problem for him. Can you read a blitz? And, of course, if he misses one pass, he missed Smitty on that big pass. We have to get rid of him. I can't believe. And I'm just like, I watched the Lord and Savior Baker Mayfield go 0 for 8 on passes over 20 yards on Monday Night Football. Do the fans want to throw him out with the bathwater? Do they want to replace him with the backup? Or are they appreciative that they have the wins they have and realize, hey, some days it's just not your day? I wonder. I'm not in Tampa right now, but I mean, my goodness gracious. So I agree with everything you're saying about Jalen. But I like to his press conferences always sound delightful to me, and they always sound the same. Main thing. I like cookies, you like cookies. It ain't nothing to me, player. You on Twitter? I don't even know what Twitter is. He said, what? Huh? You got chicken? We got chicken. Whatever it is. Like I love the way Jalen talks. It makes me happy because, again, Philadelphia is so hard on people. When I had to deal with Joel Embiid laughing when he loses in the playoffs, when Jalen Hurts loses a game, boy, he feels like we feel sick to death. And that's what I love about it. I know I want you mad like I'm mad. So I agree with everything you're saying. But after last year when he picked up the blitzes, I've been nothing but supremely confident in Jalen's capabilities.
Let's call it like it is. They're the most blitz team in the NFL. And you just got done talking about his franchise record-setting numbers or his pace. We just got done talking about his touchdown to interception ratio. We just got done talking about his completion percentage and his passer rating, all top 5 in the NFL. He is the most blitzed quarterback in the NFL. We can talk about the Vikings or the Vikings. It's Brian Flores on the other side, right? One
Great
of the
coordinator.
Gurus from a defensive coordinator perspective, off of a bye. So he had a bye week to plan for Jalen Hurts. And what did Jalen go out and do? Perfect passer rating. Again, Gritty, you said it. They have the best secondary in the NFL. They blitzed the hell out of him. They had a bye week to plan for him. Perfect passer rating. There are no questions about your quarterback.
Let's go ahead and get to our betting picks and then move on to the pick. And then I got one more thing I got to touch on before we get on out.
The week pick. Yes, we haven't even talked about the Giants. The week pick against the Giants. Do NFL picks and then our
NFL picks and then a brief touch on the game and then go for it. Gritty, lay down the. Do we got a graphics for this yet?
No graphic.
Okay, graphic.
Just make some noises.
Gritty, can you you dictate the order of things around here? So Gritty, give us the order of the picks.
Since I know you thought about it, I'm gonna go E, Ashworth, Andrew, me.
I am going to take the Cincinnati Bengals giving up 6.5 points to the New York Jets. They're playing at home. Cincinnati, old man Flacco, I believe in. Woody Johnson, what is he talking about his quarterback? Throwing his You want to talk about Black Gritty throwing me under the bus at the beginning of this show? My God, what he's doing to Justin Fields out there. We don't know if their head coach is going to be one and done. It's a shame if he is, but just the Jets. Did you see that video with that kid?
Oh, yeah. He's like, I was born into it.
Yeah, he wanted to keep walking, stopped, didn't know what to say, and all that came out of his mouth was, I hate this team. I hate this team, but I love this pick. I'm taking the Bengals, giving up 6.5 against the Jets.
So real quick before you go, Ashworth, first of all, you can't throw me under the bus or throwing you under the bus when you threw us under the bus first, okay? Secondly,
you're a habitual bus thrower.
Secondly, the best thing about that video.
Under the bus.
What? Yeah. The best thing about that video, if you watch it again, someone in the background yells, "Go Birds."
Oh,
really?
Watch it again, and somebody in the background walking by and goes, "Go Birds." And I'm like, yo, even in the Jets' pain and sadness, there's a "Go Birds" yelling somewhere in the world.
That is a very, very appropriate wrong game, dickhead. You should be
wrong game.
You should be watching your Birds.
So you should have known he was going to see in your video throwing him under the bus because he even caught that on some other random ass video. You can't get anything by him. You can't get anything by him.
Yeah.
I've made this mistake before. I feel like I'm going to make it again because there's a game that jumps out at me, and I just say, "How? What am I missing?" San Fran, 5-2, goes on the road in Houston to take on the 2-4 Texans, who have looked like absolute booty cheeks. The Texans are a 1.5 point dog. Oh, favored. No, I'm sorry. The Texans are favored by 1.5. Right?
Gritty, go ahead.
No, Niners. Yeah. I'm taking the Niners.
Okay.
What am I missing? Is there something that I don't see? Like Brock Purdy's not playing. I get that. But how the hell?
Are playing really well.
Huh?
I said what's his name from
it's Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones is playing really well. Mac Jones is playing really well.
You were right. The 49ers are plus 1.5 against the Texans.
How are they plus 1.5?
By the way, when he brought this up in the pre-show meeting,
weren't you?
Oh, I already did. I already bet it.
You bet it.
I already bet it. I looked at the line and go, unless I'm blatantly missing something,
I don't get it.
Why are the Texans giving up 1.5 to the 49ers? Texans look dreadful. Dreadful.
So bet that one with caution because Vegas knows something I clearly don't know. Gritty. Andrew.
Yeah. I don't know any of the lines for these games, but I'm just going to give you a winner.
Okay.
I think the Bears are going to beat the Ravens.
I can see that.
So take Bears money line.
Into perspective, Bears are 6.5 favorites.
Okay.
Dogs.
I think
dogs, aren't they?
No, favorites.
Favorites?
Is Lamar back? I don't
think Lamar. Lamar practiced today.
Okay.
Whether he's back or not, I don't know. But
I'm still taking Bears.
You're still taking Bears?
Yeah.
I might
see. Hold on. Let me check that out.
All right, check that out. Verify because I might place my
Baltimore's
second
minus 6.5.
Gritty.
So first of all, I think we hit last week, but I can't remember what our paper was. And I was busy living La Vida Loca, so I didn't bet it, but I'm pretty sure we hit last week. And Andrew just messed up my whole situation because I was going to take Baltimore over Chicago. And now I can't do that to us because I'm gonna put $5 on this week, even though Ashworth is gonna screw us all. I'm gonna take.
Can we lead you in a direction?
I'm going to take the. Let's do this for funsies.
Look at the Monday night game.
Around.
Tell me if you like the Monday night game.
Yeah, well, I like the Sunday night game.
I'm
going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Green Bay Packers money line.
Okay. Oh, you going money line? You're just going straight money line.
Money line. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know money line was a thing. I didn't know we could do money line.
I did not know money line.
It's an option to bet. You can bet it.
Oh, I mean, for our purposes.
Yeah, for our purposes, we trying to win here. It was up and stuff. I mean, technically, if it wasn't just about the money line, E-Rock over here talking about Bengals -6. I'm taking Bengals -15. They're gonna blow the brakes off of them Jets, boy. They go. I mean, I'm just saying.
Didn't they bench
if you want
Fields?
to put some extra juice on something,
didn't they bench Fields too?
They bench Fields,
Yeah.
and I was told that Joe Flacco did something Jalen Hurts could never do. So why don't we have Joe Flacco be the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles? Okay, so this isn't something like we care about, but just in general, when people have discourse about things, it cracks me up so much because I'm like, Joe Flacco broke a record with Jamar Chase. And do you know who didn't break that record?
Your boy.
Joe Burrow.
Your boy.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's his best friend.
Yeah.
They went to college together. So I'm saying, why do people come and bring Joe Flacco to Jalen Hurts when Joe Flacco just out Joe Burrow? Like, why are you coming to my house? Get out my house. Stay in your own backyard. Worry about your own trash.
Let's bring it back to the Eagles to wrap this up because we've been hour 22 into it and we got to wrap this thing up. Gritty, give me a thought and a prediction on Eagles versus Giants this Sunday.
I'm going last because I got to promote our stuff. Y'all don't do it.
Jason Ashworth, give me a thought and a prediction on the Eagles versus Giants this Sunday.
Well, I'll give you a hope. To me, I don't want to call it a must-win game. It is a must-win game. It's a must-win game for the attitude, for the dog, for the personality of the team, for the direction moving forward. You can't. All right, what happened in New York happened in New York. Fair enough. All right, you took them lightly. I get it. You were a little undermanned. You're at home. You're in the Kelly Greens. You got Carter back, Quinyon back. You're good defensively. So for me, in those purposes, there's no way that you can let that team leave the link with a W. So for that reason, I will say it's a Birds win. I'm going to go ahead with a 27-14 correction.
Okay, Gritty.
I'm not last. Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are going to win twice. Come on. Like, serious? Do we really think that that's going to happen? They're going to come here to Philadelphia in front of our fans, playing in our house. There is no way that they're going to win again. And also, last week, they blew their whatever you want to call it, trying to beat the Broncos. So there might be a lot of fatigue because they just had to fight a big fight that they lost. So give me 24, give me 17.
This is a game about attitude. This is a game about attitude and energy. This isn't a game about talent because Eagles, you are the more talented team. On paper, you were the more talented team. I'll argue that till I'm blue in the face. However, the attitude and the energy hasn't been always there, right? You got Skibbity Doo, Skibbity Dome, whatever the hell his name is, Skibbity Toilet, right? That walking CTE waiting to happen. You got the Abercrombie model, Jackson Dart, scrambling around with his, Anakin Skywalker, little face paint. That's cute. But they injected a new energy and a new life into a really lifeless and pulseless New York Giants team. And on Thursday Night Football, y'all got embarrassed. And they celebrated like it was the Super Bowl. Not only the team on the field, but whoever's working MetLife Stadium, they were trolling us. They flashed the Phillies-Dodgers score when the Phillies got eliminated. Put it on all four big boards. Rubbed it in our faces. They were playing the Always Sunny theme when they knew they were whipping our ass. Oh, those New York Giants fans and everybody, they didn't have shit to say before the game. Oh, by the end of the game, I've done many a walk of shame out of many stadiums. That was not fun. But now they're in our house, the defending Super Bowl champions' house. And when they look up at the stands, I want them to see that Super Bowl banner there. And when they listen to that crowd, oh, if you're going to that game, listen, Eagles fans, I need you. Full throat. Let them friggin' have it. This is going to be an attitude game, not a talent game. Eagles dominate, show them, make them pay for rubbing your nose in it. They have no business being on the field with you. You're the more talented team. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. Don't just beat them. Embarrass them. And Eagles fans, don't let them forget it. I got the Birds winning 27-17.
So, all that sounded great by all you guys. Y'all didn't mention the one thing. About to smack them up. Okay. It's Kelly Green week. We don't lose in Kelly Green. Period, point blank. When DJ Diamond Cuts starts spinning them records from the 1990s and the drinks start flowing and the beat starts going up, I'm a rob me a person. Like, I don't care what you say. Kelly Green is mean. They're going to destroy the New York Giants. It's going to be 34-17. Bombs over Baghdad. We're going to air them out. I don't need Saquon to do nothing. Matter of fact, Saquon, you sit your Madden butt down with the Kurds and let these young bulls go out here and rip and run roughshod all over the New York Giants. Scatterboo, can he do the fat? I don't care about none of that. Y'all let this man freak and dance on you. You let these white boys shake their hips. You let them try to be white exciting over our exciting whites. Y'all better get right and take care of it on Kelly Green night. That's all I know. We getting that George W. If you're still watching, make sure you go to allphly.com and subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the YouTube and make yourself useful. And remind E-Rock that calling his compadres Trashworth and Fat Gritty or whatever he said about
4 times. I told you.
Because of the FCC lines, I can't do it. But just so you know, no matter what E-Rock says about y'all as our fans, I love you. I think Ashworth might know. I know Andrew do. Andrew appreciate everybody.
Don't fall for this, listening audience.
On PHLY.com. We up there. We live right now. Go subscribe for your boys. And as always, what you guys say?
No, I got one more. One more I got to get into. Just a plug. Andrew, I got to do this for the gram. So if you give me a solo cam, please. I'm using all of you right now. Because I got to plug this thing. I am so excited to be attending the inaugural Black Tie Hurdles for Hope Gala November 1st at the Philadelphia Art Museum. It's Saquon and his mom, the namesake over his grandmother, right? And the whole point of this the whole effort behind this gala is to raise money to empower youth and families through support programs and initiatives that combine sports and academics. It is going to be an absolutely phenomenal night, hosted by Alex Holly and Charlie Mack. The guest list, I haven't seen it yet, but you have to assume some of the biggest celebrities in Philadelphia. Eagles, former and current players, coaches and executives, black tie tucks, some of the best food in Philadelphia, some of the best entertainment. So please, if you're interested in general admission tickets, the link is in my Instagram bio. Go check it out, and I hope to see you there at the Hurdles for Hope Gala.
Gritty, did we get an invite with you, with E?
No. We're part of the general admission possibilities. Because we're part of the. That was what he said. That general possibilities.
Both he said. Both he is throwing me under the bus.
General admission.
You can't let me have one damn thing. Right. You can't let me have this.
Sure.
We let you solo. We let you solo came it out. It's for a good cause. I mean, it'd be different if you told us first, but you just come on and use our platform, and then tell us that we could have been generals together. But now we got to be generals for everybody else too.
I got a tux I've been waiting to wear.
So wait. So PHLY, right? On the website.
PHLY.com.
Go Birds. Cut it. Angie, just cut it. Just cut it. Just cut the app.
We all silly like the mayor.